All right, guys, let's talk about the Rockets, a team that has fascinated me all season and especially lately. There is a sponsor in this vid. So they just had a great win versus the Spurs, and they've won 4 of 5. But they also had a stretch before that where there was some very bad shooting. There was some just very tough stretches for them on offense. Şengün missed a few of them, but not all of them. There was a Kings and OKC game that he played, and it got me thinking again about when they see double teams on KD in the playoffs and the spacing things they deal with sometimes, even if the trade-off is we're really big and physical and get a million offensive rebounds and all that. Anyway, I do want to start with the Spurs win. Let's start on a positive note. So Wemby did not shoot well in this game, shot really badly, took a lot of jumpers, and while a few of those misses were versus Şengün, or Şengün was able to close out to him on a three, a good amount of them were versus like Tari or Finney-Smith or KD or Jabari just being able to get into his space, right? And with all the size and switchability that the Rockets have, they are one team that I think is equipped to tap into the fact that even though Wemby has gotten bigger and more coordinated, stronger, the whole thing, and deals with contact better, it is still possible to knock him off of his spot some if you can really deal with him physically, and they can do that. We also saw Şengün run over him a couple times on offense, which, hey, that's one way to deal with his rim protection. So that was good stuff. They're always going to be just a physically imposing team for a lot of teams, right? However, we've also seen some rough crunch time offense stretches where maybe they still won, like in the Bulls game, where they did deal with the KD doubles. And then I'm remembering 3 straight plays of Jabari scoring, one where Amen gets to the middle of the floor, one where J.D. Davison is the one getting the pass from KD that becomes like a Jabari pull-up too. And then Jabari also screened for KD to get another 3. So, okay, great. They didn't allow the Bulls to just double-team them to hell, because there was an earlier stretch of that game where they were getting some not great shots off of that. And then we had the back-to-back Blazers losses, where they shot so poorly from 3, including one stretch where they missed like 5 threes in a row, like offensive rebound, missed 3, that type of thing. And Jabari was especially bad in these games, and also the Kings game right after. Before we get back to it, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. So shout out to CJ Stroud for one of the worst games I've ever seen from a quarterback. And so now my Patriots are in Denver. I don't know a thing about the Broncos, although I know that something happened with the quarterback, and now it's not the original guy. I don't know. Are they going to win? I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'll just say yes. Anyway, if I wanted to go to Denver to see that game, or if I wanted to go to any NFL playoff game or any NBA game or sporting event, concert, festival, all kinds of things, then I would use SeatGeek as I have before. You could use my code phunkydiabetic10 for 10% off your next order at SeatGeek. SeatGeek rates deals on a scale of 1 to 10. So look for the green dots to make sure you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. Every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account. phunkydiabetic10, SeatGeek. Where it did make you have a moment of like, Jabari's shooting for his career is like 36%. Good, not great, but then he's been better from 3 lately. One of those Blazer losses where, again, the big thing was that they did not shoot well from 3, but one play to sum it up is like Shaedon Sharpe and Avdija double KD. He kind of drives through it, but then Okogie is the one guy left wide open. And I don't even remember who took the shot, but it's like, that's just always going to be a win for the defense. I'm also remembering an Amen 3 late where he was left super wide open. They're always going to try that. And the push and pull of Steven Adams is we know the value he has for you on the boards, of course. And also, sometimes the spacing is just going to be a little worse, like Amen trying to attack, that sort of thing. And also, Jabari hit the side of the backboard. It was a rough couple of games for him. Then they had a loss to OKC where it was close until the 4th quarter, and then some of it was Chet switching onto KD to stop some of those just simple screen actions. And then, of course, OKC is better than probably anybody at collapsing the paint and not giving up easy threes all day. And the Rockets are sometimes susceptible to having just a cramped offense, like in the paint. You put all those together, and then you have this stretch of OKC's role players just going nuts from 3, and before you know it, it's a close game, and then it becomes like a 15-point game. They had the Şengün Adams lineup down the stretch there, and then just one more game for you. Their win against the Wolves with no Ant, but they did pull it through in the 4th quarter. They did have a series of possessions where there was like one pass or sometimes no pass, as it was like Amen just trying to drive on Rudy or KD just getting into a one dribble pull up or Shepherd, similar thing. And like, okay, these are good shooters who can obviously make shots off the dribble. It's just, you just sometimes want more of something else happening, whether it's like KD pin downs or I love whenever Jabari is able to get a pick and pop with somebody. Any sort of creative screen, even if it's just like a screen in the way backcourt for Amen to get downhill immediately rather than like I'm dribbling for a while and then some Şengün sets me a screen that's just okay. Anything to just kind of juice things up a little bit more. As I say this, they're still a top 10 offense, but we know the offensive rebounding and just being too physical for teams is a big deal with it. Like, if you can turn them into a half-court execution offensive team, which, of course, we're going to see more of that in the playoffs, then yeah, like, that's how you beat these guys. And as I say that, Şengün, similar to versus Wemby, I remember a play where he ran over Gobert to get a bucket, or he made like a tough fadeaway over him. So, I mean, the talent's there, even if you definitely feel Fred not being here. I mean, it's been done all season. It does kind of remind me of some of the feelings I had with the Udoka Celtics, where we got switchability all over the place. We got good defenders all over. We got Time Lord helping off of non-shooters, which is just taking this defense to a whole new level. And also, we sometimes don't really do anything on offense. Or if we do something, it takes us too long to get into it, that stuff. But hey, they made the finals, so he was doing something right. If the Rockets are going to go down in whatever they deem to be some sort of disappointing fashion, it's probably going to be plays where it's a crunch time situation, and it's a little too much of KD ISO or Şengün tough post up or Amen drive on 3 guys that are in the paint. But every team's got something they're going to have to overcome in the playoffs. I mean, OKC's half-court offense, it stalls out sometimes. Anyway, that's it. Look, they're still really good. We got 40-something games to go. Maybe they make a move, I don't know, but this was the whole thing about Fred getting hurt.